right, here we go. Welcome back to 3QS, Three Questions. Von Walker, and today we have a really cool person. I'm actually kind of excited because it's been a while since I've seen him. We have today DJ Q. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing fine, man. It didn't take you. Actually, you're the first person to get here without being trapped up the block. So you started off this really great right now. So kudos.
Cool.
So yeah, man. How you been?
Oh, I've been doing well overall. I think it's been a blessing to be so busy.
Mm-hmm.
I've been able to find a lot of different spaces to perform and also to find spaces for other people to perform in. Not only do I DJ, but fortunately enough, I'm able to book DJs for other events as well. So that's been
So you staying
really
busy.
cool. Yeah,
Staying
been
busy.
Been staying
Well, that's
busy.
dope. Staying. A lot of people get it confused. You know, being busy, as you know, just because you're busy doesn't mean that you're productive. You know, so but I'm glad that you're staying productive because you're getting other people involved in what you got going on. So that's real dope, man. So I'm gonna jump right into the questions. The first question is pretty simple. Who is DJ Q? What do you do? Not just DJing, but what else do you bring to the table? Because you don't just DJ. Like you just pointed out, you kind of help other people do things. So how does that go?
So I am really just an artist, creative, in a nutshell. But to crack that nutshell open, I am someone who really likes to create music and experiences with music. So that's kind of where the DJing really ties in. I enjoy being able to use music as a tool to allow people to either escape or bring them to a place that feels familiar or gives them a sense of comfort. And that's my goal almost every time I go and DJ. When I couldn't really DJ because of the pandemic, I really dove into visual creating, and when I found when I found some ways to create visually, it really resonated with me, and it was a lot of fun. I had a good time, and I found that I could do it not only for myself but for others too, and help tell stories.
During the pandemic, were you doing mostly the visual stuff for yourself, or were you doing it for clients, or was it your first time like getting into it? So you was kind of doing it for yourself.
I was mainly doing it for myself. So really, I was DJing online sometimes and doing these live streams. And to add to the music, I wanted to add these different visual components to the live streams. And to do that, I had to learn how to create visuals and somewhat do some graphic design. And I was thankful to have a amazing mentor who was not only a great graphic designer but also a really dope DJ as well. He is up in New York. His name's DJ Color TV.
I was about to say his name. You keep saying he and he. You might as well go ahead and give him his flowers. He helped you out.
I mean, I had to build it up, let you all know how great he was before I.
So he helped you make the transition to being the visuals? Is that what you're saying?
He taught me a lot about visuals, how to use different programs to create and edit visuals, both live and also just in the background. So whether it was like visuals for the live stream while I was DJing for people online on Twitch, or whether it was creating a flyer or something like that.
I didn't know you was DJing on Twitch, but that makes sense. As far as streaming, you can stream for 45 minutes and have a mix. You can put the mix up and stuff like that. So that makes a lot of sense. I never really thought about that. Most people, when they think of Twitch, is mostly like games, but it can be used for anything.
Yeah.
So how did it go when you was doing on when you were on Twitch?
It was great. Built up a really cool community that would just tune in. I had some regular shows every week. I would do 2 different shows. One was focusing on world music. It was called Q's Cafe, and I was just.
You still do it?
I don't.
But that was mainly a pandemic thing.
mainly pandemic thing.
Okay.
I would definitely still do it to this day. I just don't always have the capacity. I travel quite a bit, and I don't always have like whether it's reliable internet or like a good space to set up
Sounds
and
like
make
you
it
need
happen.
Starlink or something.
Maybe,
You need that, man, if you're going to keep it up. Because DJing, because I used to do, well, not I, but I used to listen to DJs on SoundCloud.
Yeah,
And they would have mix. I don't know if you ever heard of Soul Action?
absolutely.
Yeah. So that's how I got into it. Like as just listening, and they would put. I think they're on like episode 800 or something like that. But they would bring in a bunch of mixes, and I'm like, okay, this is dope. But I never. Like, when you bring it up Twitch, you can kind of showcase your skill set as far as like transitions and scratching or whatever. I know you do that. So I don't know how much more you've been doing it lately, like scratching and stuff like that. I know there's DJ competitions and stuff like that. I don't know if you get into that. We could talk about it, but Oh, first of all, wait a minute. I just had to say this real quick. Y'all noticed the boat hat, right? He came in here with. I did not tell him to do that. I didn't tell him to do that at all. He came in with the hat, and yeah, I've been rocking this the last couple episodes, so I think this might be a staple for me.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna wear it today. And then you came in, and then you put your stylus on the phone on the FaceTime.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, no, hold up. Let me go ahead and throw my hat on. You know what I mean? So
Bucket hat gang.
I
Yes,
appreciate that.
absolutely.
Hey, hey. You see
Bucket
this guy?
hat brothers.
Look at this man, dude. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
So you DJ, you got into visuals.
Yeah.
As far as visuals, because there's a lot you can do with that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about that for a second. What kind of visuals? You do vlogging? Do you do client work? What kind of client, like weddings or corporate work, or do you used to do mostly like creative projects? How does that work?
So it started off with just creative projects, mainly like projects for myself,
Okay.
And
So you do a lot of collabs.
some collabs, but mainly just like stuff for me, just to demonstrate like a recap, an event recap, or a travel recap, or something like that, and then I had some people that really liked my style of editing and such, so they would reach out and be like, hey, can you record this event? Can you do this for me? Can you do that? So I had a couple of clients that were range from private clients to corporate clients.
What kind of events?
I've done like street festivals. I've done like corporate conferences. I've done, and these are all like paying clients. I've done wellness events. I've done sporting events. So a full range.
Of stuff.
Yeah. I use these 360 cameras that allow a unique perspective. So that's really the appeal. Sometimes it can look like a drone, and in this area in DC and in certain other places, you can't always fly drones. So that be able to have like a drone effect is a valuable asset to them.
Yeah, you're right, because I was gonna get into drones, and then I realized the area that I'm in, and I'm like, well, what use? I mean, it can be useful because you got to get outside the city of DC and whatnot, but still, and I'm not even in DC like that, but that's where a lot of the work is, and you got to get a whole bunch of permits, and it could be a hassle when someone calls you up, hey yo, we got something going on tomorrow, can you fly the drone? No, because we need to go through the process, and once you go through the process, it's worth it, but it's a process,
right?
It become a little bit cumbersome.
Absolutely.
So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So I have that. That's like a side.
You from DC?
I'm born and raised in Silver Spring, Maryland, and I live in DC now, but always in the area. So grew up right on the border, like in downtown Silver Spring. So yeah.
How'd you get into DJing?
I started in college, actually. So
what is it about college that gets people into music?
I think so. Actually, there's a really good, I don't remember the name, but I was watching this guy on YouTube that really broke things down as far as musical taste. And it's talking about how like the first 10 years of your life, your musical taste is completely influenced by your parents. Right?
I agree.
So you're gonna like what they liked. That's why we like old music, right? Then from the next 10 years of your life, pretty much like your adolescence, your teenage years, you start to discover your own music taste, right? You're just starting to figure out what you like. Then the next 10 years, you really like that's your music taste. Like you figure out like this is what I like, you know, when you're from like 20 to 30, you're like, this is my musical taste.
And if that,
It's
you're
not
pretty
so
much
much experimentation, right? So that's why like your college years, that's the beginning of like, okay, this is who I am musically. Like this is my musical identity. And then at 30, your musical taste usually switches somewhere, somehow. Like maybe you now all of a sudden like country music, or like.
you think it's just because of the age? They call it 30 the age of wisdom. So you kind of pick up on, okay, maybe slow things down a little bit. You don't need to rah. You're not doing EDM as much anymore, you know, or the high energy hip hop or pop. You just, like you said, country music. Even though country music can be upbeat, but sometimes it's good cruising music. I like cruising music.
Yeah.
So I now that I'm thinking about it, I think you're right. I think there definitely, I can see the stages of where I was at. So I get it.
Absolutely.
Getting into question two, man. I see you, like you mentioned earlier, you travel a lot. With your travel, that comes a lot of opportunities for you. How do you, as a DJ, because I know a lot of DJs, and I've worked with some of them. You and I have done work before, but I don't see anybody doing as much. Like I see you doing a lot of stuff, traveling a lot of places. You've had residencies before, different locations around the city within Maryland. Then you were gone for like however long. That's part of the reason why I haven't seen you for a while, because you're traveling. And it's not just to the next state or within the U.S. It's out there. So how do you be getting these opportunities to do that and actually keep it consistent?
A lot of it is just your network. You know, you connect with people as you go along, and then you continue to meet more people. It's a snowball effect.
Yeah.
So I might go out to the Caribbean somewhere and meet people and socialize, and then I might meet someone that's from Peru, or someone that's from Portugal, you know, from the Caribbean, and then now I have some connects in Portugal and Peru.
So you've been to Portugal yet?
I have been to Portugal.
Okay, I believe it at that. I'm just gonna go ahead and be like, okay, he was out, but you had fun.
Oh, I had a great time.
You had fun.
Portugal is amazing. The food is incredible.
Oh yeah. I'm glad you mentioned just the food. Okay, just the food,
Absolutely.
huh? That's it. Yeah, food and music.
The drinks,
Good
music.
drinks. Okay, people cool.
People are amazing. People
Women
are
nice.
great.
Women okay. You see what I'm doing, right? And see, he's keeping it real professional. I get it. I dig it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's actually really dope, man. Again, I don't know a lot of. I know, I'm pretty sure there's plenty of DJs that actually travel around, but you're the only one that I know personally that travels around consistently. Somebody may get flown out 1 or 2 times, but you're like always gone, which I think is dope. Is it lucrative as far as doing that? Because there's a lot of DJs that just play music, and then there's DJs that play music and then they produce music too. So for you, because you say you producing music now?
I produce music, but just nothing that I've released.
Okay, so the main thing for the most part is DJing, just playing music that's popular, or just to set the vibe. So is it lucrative?
Absolutely. I mean, you can make anything as lucrative as you want. I feel like when you have a passion, whatever that passion is, you can find someone that'll pay for that passion and find value in that passion. So it's all about like how much perceived value you can create with your passion. So me, I'm well versed in pretty much every type of genre era there is, so I can thankfully play in almost any situation, and that adds to my value. So people oftentimes are looking for a particular type of DJ, and I might be one of the few that are able to perform that type of genre or those eras of music. So I'm on a short list, so the demand's higher, so I can call for a higher rate.
What do you think? Like, how do you build the skill to be able to do that? Because you would think some people think, well, you're just the DJ. You press the play button and you just put another song on. But you got to do transitions, and then you got to know, not just like you just said, like you got to know the genres that you're playing, and you have to have the catalog with you. You know, you can't just have one or two reggaeton songs and you're going to a reggaeton event.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta honestly, I would think you gotta have at least access to 600-700 songs, and almost all of them have to be banging, especially depending on how long the event is. You know what I'm saying? And most DJs don't even play the entire song anyway. So you play 30, 40, maybe a minute of the song, and then you switch it over. So you can go through 80 songs in like an hour, maybe less than that, depending on how. So how do you change? How do you choose that, especially when you're in that type of environment, and then choosing the type of genres? I mean, I guess it's based on the client, but how do you, what's your process? How do you get into the zone, given the event that you're in, and how do you do it?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta really know your music. You gotta really, really know your music, and just listen. And that's a big part of DJing is before you put anything out, you gotta absorb it. You gotta take it in. You gotta listen. So I listen to a lot of different styles of music, and that allows me to connect a lot of different styles of music, which allows me to, like when I perform, I can basically, I almost think of it as like a video game. Like I have all these little side quests and all these tools at my disposal, you know, that are a part of the main quest, but that all like get me towards the main objective if I tap into them. So when I'm DJing, I might play something just to see if anyone reacts or responds. And if they do, then I'm like, okay, this is something that gives them something, that makes them feel something. If they don't react or don't respond, then I'm like, okay, maybe this is not their cup of tea. So it's a lot of listening. It's a lot of observation. It's a lot of like being in the moment. And it's a lot of practice. You have to practice a whole lot so that you can pull it all together. Because part of it is I know how to access my vast library. I know how to read a crowd, but if I don't know how to quickly exit a song because I see it's not working, but exit it so it makes sense, or quickly bring in another song because I see I'm building momentum, but again, it has to make sense. If I don't practice, then I can't execute that. So I have to pull all those things together, the listening, the observation while I'm in the moment, and then the actual practice.
So it's almost like a full-time job, the practice itself. Because I imagine you really gotta, you know what? I seen DJ Consistence, a mutual friend of ours. I've seen him one day, like sit down at the TV watching music videos for hours. And I would go grab something to eat, go grocery shop. He did this on multiple occasions because we roommated at one point. I would come home and he would still be sitting. I'm like, what the fuck is he? Like, what are you doing? Like, and then I realized one day he had a notebook with him, and he had two of them composition books, and they were filled with songs. And I was like, respect. I got nothing, because I was wondering. I was like, yo, what are you doing? Like, you just like you ain't doing nothing. I had to apologize because, yeah, he was really doing research, like different. And he had different genres. He had them labeled out, and I was like, God damn. So it's like that. So, yeah, now what you just said, I'm now. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, sometimes doing nothing is doing a lot, you know, because you're soaking it up. You got to be a sponge and learn before you can really be at a high level at any craft.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree with that. There was one thing I wanted to say. So, you say you haven't released any music yet. This is still part of question 2. It's not question 3.
Yeah.
So do you want to release music?
Yeah, I definitely will.
So okay. So you want to release music? What genre would you go into, or would it just kind of be like Neptune's album from way back where they would have everything on it?
Kind of like that. Probably something that has a little bit of everything. I like to take people on a journey with whatever I do. I like to storytell. So that's what I'm trying to put together. When it comes to my music, I want to tell a story. And the stories that I tell, thankfully, like I've been able to travel all around the world, and I have
So
all
you got
these
experiences.
right. So I want to pull in these sounds and flavors and and colors and rhythms from these different places to tell these stories. Right. So it's gonna be, like you said, kind of like a Neptune's album where you hear a little bit of everything, and it just I just have to make it cohesive. So yeah.
Yeah, cohesive, like doing a set at an event. You plan on doing any vocals with it, or you just gonna be behind the scenes, just producing the music? You're gonna have singers, rappers, anybody on it?
Yeah, definitely get a J Arts feature. You know what I'm saying?
For those who know. Yeah, all right, hey man, I'm just, I'll look out for the phone call.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That guy can spit. So, one of those. And yeah, maybe some vocals for sure. I would love to add that to it, because the human voice is one of the most beautiful instruments that exists, I feel like.
When it comes to we're going into question 3 right now. You just explained how you kind of have to be informed on the type of music that you are you got to be ready for any type of event, and you, like you said, you're on a short list. Do you prefer to do events, or do you prefer to do shows with artists such as rappers or singers? Because I've noticed there's a big difference between DJs that DJ for an artist, they go on tour with the artist. I don't know if it's just me, maybe not reading it right, but it seems like they don't mix as well if they're at a club or a musical event where you're just scratching or you're just doing a mix, as opposed to having, this is the song you play at this time for, when she comes out, do this song, or when he comes out, time to rap, and then they, you know what I'm saying, having all that. Is there like a big difference? Do you find a big difference when it comes to that?
I think that yes, there can be a difference between like a DJ doing an event and a DJ doing an event with an artist or doing a show with an artist. I have seen many sides of these coins, and I'll say that, part of when a DJ is doing an event is that it's a flow. They're connecting the different elements to build energy. When an artist is doing a show, a good artist is going to also do the same thing and tell a story, build energy, take you on a journey, on a ride.
You have an example of an artist that you worked with that's been like that? You
Um,
don't have to say their name, but like, have you had really good experiences with that, having a flow and they've been able to tell a story, or is it just be kind of generic? And
sometimes. So I'll get back to that, and I'm gonna circle back to that in 1 second. So the best situation is when the DJ and the artist intertwine and collaborate on ideas, on storytelling, on building the energy. If they are working together, then it's going to be the most beautiful performance that you can ever find.
So you're saying doing rehearsals, like if you had a band or whatnot. So it's the same thing. It's just you're a DJ.
Mm-hmm. Yes, because there's so much that the DJ can do to enhance the artist's performance. Even if it's just simple things like, the artist, they're performing over a performance track, right? Your DJ just dropping the track at the right time when you're spitting something, so that the artist hears the crowd, and that hypes them up, and then everyone, the energy is just now leveled up. Just little things like that can go a long way. Or when the artist is like, let my DJ work, or and then the DJ does whatever to collab.
That's my DJ.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Just things like that. When it's synergy between the two, it can be the most beautiful thing. When that does not exist, then it's just it's a DJ trying to tell a quick, like, provide energy and tell a quick story in, like, 30 seconds, and then the artist trying to tell their story in their 2 minutes, and then the DJ trying to tell their story in 30 seconds.
That's when they're not in sync.
Exactly.
So I mean, it's like I said, it's like being in sync with a band, with a DJ and stuff like that. And you know what? I guess that's why it would be best to have a DJ that you work with often, so they can really know, what you do, get familiar with how you perform and all that stuff. So it makes sense.
Right.
So
like a good friend of mine, DJ Got Now, one of his really good homies is Andrew Hypes. Andrew Hypes is now Justin Timberlake's tour DJ.
How do you get? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah, we'll get to that.
And it, started off with more or less like the DJ playing the tracks, as most tour DJs do. But Andrew Hype, such a dope DJ that the Timberlake camp had to incorporate him into the actual performances. So now, like, at the actual concerts and that they're doing on tour, you'll have, Timberlake singing over a song, and then the DJ will drop the beat and bring in a Neptune's beat or something like that. You know what I mean?
So live.
Live.
Oh, without it being rehearsed, and that's what being in sync is. Okay,
right,
so
right.
He in sync, no pun intended. you just mentioned Justin Timberlake. Yo, mind blow. I was not trying to do that.
Bars, I told you. Art's got the bars.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Try. I mean, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Arts might come back and get in the booth, you know what I mean? Right now you talking to Von Walker, so I'm trying to think incognito. Nah, but that's dope, man. Have you so this is a friend of yours that's done this? Yeah. So he just kind of was just that dope, and they recognized the talent, and it was like, you know what? Come on.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it's been some time coming, but definitely absolutely like dope DJ. They recognized the talent, and now he's on tour with Timberlake.
How do the DJs get the attention of people who are that caliber artists? It
just takes someone to see them. Someone from their camp to see them.
So is it like it's one of those, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So if you're already doing, like, you're doing it right now, you're doing it like you say, you're doing how many gigs a week? Like 6, 7. All it takes is somebody to be in the crowd. Yo, you know something? Like that's all it takes. So just being in the mix that's part of the getting the opportunities, like you were saying, and just mingling and rubbing shoulders. Okay.
Yeah, and then they say you should always perform, whether it's 100,000 people in the room or 10 people in the room. You should always give your best, because you never know who the one person might be, and that one person might be, that one person that you need.
I'll give you credit, man, because you have a calm demeanor. I don't think I've ever seen you raise your voice. I'm pretty sure you have at some point. Let's keep it real. But me personally, being around you, and we've had times where we've had hours around each other, doing things, and I'm like, I've never seen you like frustrated. Maybe you have been, and you're just good at hiding it. I'll give you probably are. You probably one of them little, like, yeah, I'm about to beat the hell out of you, but I'm gonna keep it cool. Like, you probably one of those. But you have a calm demeanor about you. Do you think that helps you as far as being a DJ? Especially with a crowd, if you see the crowd like, oh crap, they're not really feeling that. You ever got booed?
I have never been booed.
Have you seen people get booed?
I have.
How do they handle it?
I don't know how they handle it.
Do they start messing up even more? Like they hit one transition that sucks, and then they just start accident. They go from Gucci Mane to Miley Cyrus or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, do they start getting scared? What happens?
I don't even recall, like, when they get booed. They just get booed. I don't know. One time the guy got replaced.
Mid-session?
Yeah. They just took him off.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, people. A lot of times, people pay good money for these experiences and stuff, and It is what it is.
You
But
want to give them a good experience, so
right,
it is what it is. You know, you kind of, I mean, I guess they made some of their money then.
yeah,
Yeah, you ain't get the whole check. You got some of it. You played for a little bit until they booed you. Then you got to go.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
So you never got booed.
Nah, I've thankfully never been booed. It's because I really, really pay attention to the crowd. Like, I really am. Like, a good DJ will be constantly looking up at the crowd and seeing how they're reacting and responding. I look up almost after every song. And if your DJ is not looking up, if they're down in their equipment the whole time, they're not in tune. So that's how they can miss up and have a disconnect with the crowd. But if you're always paying attention, then you should be locked in.
I've seen DJs be like up in the booth, like at the high tower, and I don't even see how they can even really see the crowd like that. Like, why do you think like some clubs do that? Is it an effort? I mean, I don't even know if people are going to clubs like that anymore. I know it's like a lot of brunches that happen. I haven't been to a club like that for a minute, maybe a lounge, but even when you go to those, it's like hybrid. They try to be a club, but then they're not really a club. But anyway, like, I've seen the DJs be like away from like the crowd. Do you think that's like an advantage so they can focus? Because I know people try to get a lot of requests in. Or do you think it's more of a detriment? Because you, like you said, you look up after every song. So
if I don't have direct line of sight of the crowd, then it's definitely a hindrance. Like, it's not gonna help me at all.
it's for you, but do you think it is just for as a DJ in general? Like, you think a DJ should be able to see the crowd?
Yeah, absolutely. A DJ gotta see the crowd. if I can't see you move, then I'm throwing darts in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm just fishing and in the dark. I have no idea.
Yeah. I mean, well, being in tune with the crowd, right? It's about good transitions, things like that. Do you do a lot of the, because back in the day, old school, like when people use records and not just digital. Actually, let me ask you this question. Do you prefer vinyl or digital? Like, at this point, I don't really know if there's a big difference at this point. I know there was like a difference, like a while ago, and people were just starting to get into like scratching the CDs. There was stuff like that. I know Pioneer put something out that I saw and I saw a DJ put a CD in and he was able to scratch it. But do you think there's any like disadvantage of being like now as opposed to having vinyls back in the day? Like, is there a sound difference or a technology difference? I assume it's easier to deal with it now.
It's so much easier to deal with it, to manage a music library now, because everything can be managed on your computer or, even on your phone or tablet, depending on what you're using. Before you had to carry around, all those physical records, so that was obviously a challenge. And you only had what you had, so you couldn't download something on the spot. You couldn't,
I've seen you do that.
Yeah.
I've seen you download it. What song was it? Hold up. I've seen you do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Quick thinking.
So, it definitely, the technology has enhanced and made it a lot more streamlined to DJ for sure, without having to use the records. Records to me still sound the best, and it's nice just to have physical, like you're holding the music. You know what I mean? Like, it's music is abstract in a way. It's something you just hear. It's a sensory thing, but when you have a record, you actually
You're holding it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know there's people who started getting into the sound like vinyls. They like it. Mm-hmm. People are collecting them now. I think at one point there was like a resurgence of getting vinyls and stuff like that. So I don't think DJs were driving it, but like just kind of piggybacking off what you said, like the sound of it and being able to physically hold it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, yeah. No, definitely people are getting back into it because, again, everything's so digital, and it's like, what do we own anymore? When you're streaming music, you don't own any of those songs or those albums. When you would go and purchase an album, a CD, like, you would purchase it. You own it. You know what I mean? So people like that, and vinyls have a nice aesthetic and kind of nostalgic feeling to them. So I see why it happens.
Yeah. How do you feel about streaming? I mean, I know you haven't released anything yet. You want to. How do you feel about streaming?
I'll say I like that streaming gives access to like the world of music. You know, that's real important for people to have. I don't like how it's taking advantage of the artists. You have to get way too many streams to make any money. It's ridiculous, actually. You also like even same with the consumer with the streams. Like people are paying a monthly subscription to stream music again that they don't own. They can't like download and keep. Yeah, you can download it for offline use per se, but you still like you know you can't do anything with that. You can't put that on a USB. You can't put that on a CD. You can't do anything with it. If you like the Spotify lists and all that stuff is not music you own. So I feel like it's shortchanging the consumer and it's shortchanging the artist. But I do like that it gives people access to any type of music.
It seems like the only real advantage of it is, like you said, access to it. Because I find myself now, I used to have the CD case. I don't even know where my CD's at now. Spent money on them, have no idea where they are. I don't even have a CD player. They don't even come on laptops no more. They don't even come in cars anymore.
Right.
So, you know, we're getting to a place now where music is so devalued. It's almost all of it's become background music. You know, I don't know if we're gonna have any more Woodstocks or stuff on that type of level.
Yeah.
Because DJs are part of that. You know, yeah, you're playing the music and you download the music, but you have to still buy the music in order to have it. But it's all digital. You know, you don't have the physical CDs, you don't have the vinyls. You know, it's just stored on a hard drive that hopefully doesn't ever fry on you. At least with a CD or vinyl, you can have it. There's people who had that stuff for like 30 years. You know, maybe we don't have to worry about that. Maybe we do. I'm not sure. But
yeah, I will say from a DJ's perspective, streaming has created an influx of requests. That's where the requests come from.
I bet.
Because everyone, you know, with streaming, everything's on demand. I want to hear this. I just go and type it in and play it, you know. So that's how they feel they should act at parties and events, which you shouldn't.
Do you feel that people are a lot less patient because of that? They say, wait, do you have this song? And if they expect you to play it in 2 seconds?
That part as well. That part is crazy to me because the first part is when I went out, I would almost never request anything. I just wanted to hear what the DJ was going to deliver to me. But outside of that, just the fact that, you know, if you request something, keep in mind it's a request. It's a request. Like it's not a demand, you know. And then the DJ will fit it in when they can. So don't come check back every 5 minutes. Like it will happen at some point if it makes sense. But yeah, streaming is absolutely the catalyst that increased the requests on DJs.
So going off the requests, like I've emceed some events with the DJ, and I was used as the buffer between him and the crowd.
How'd that
and
feel?
their requests. Overwhelming, because it was nonstop. It was constantly. You know, you get one or two. Oh, okay, you get the girl. Oh, can you play? All right, cool. Then all of a sudden, it's like number 8, number 9, number 10. Then it's the dudes. Yo, you got that? I'm like, and they just keep going and going and going. And then when you're talking to one, they bypass you, go straight to the DJ. You're not supposed to do that. You know, that's what I'm saying. Do you find yourself needing an MC, or do you MC it yourself, or do you put a sign, no request?
I will prefer an MC, so I can just focus on the musical vibes. But I don't mind MCing myself because I can also, you know, like I know where I'm going with things, etc. But as far as like handling people that come up to me and requests and stuff, I like if someone comes up to me and I'm like, you got to keep in mind I'm working. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think of it like if you go to a doctor's office or you know, you pull up to the pharmacy and you see the pharmacist is working, like they're definitely doing stuff. You know, you don't know what they're doing because you're not a pharmacist, but they're doing stuff.
They ain't wearing them lab coats for nothing.
Right. You usually like give them grace. You wait till they're done before you ask, like, hey, I need this now, right? Because you see they're doing something. So if I'm DJing and like I'm actively doing stuff, I'm gonna finish what I'm doing. I'm not gonna pay you any mind. If I have a moment, you know, and I'm like looking at the crowd, seeing how y'all are reacting and responding, and then you come to a request, like that's a clear window. Yeah, I'll listen to you. You know what I'm saying? What do you want to hear? I'll try to work it in if I can. Otherwise, if I'm like in the zone, in the middle of mixing and blending two songs, you just gotta wait. And I will, you know, give people, you know, like, hey, just give me a second, give me a minute. I'm not trying to be rude, but I'm working right now.
Yeah.
So
You ever get any altercations with that? Somebody like get super irritated with you and try to take it to that level?
oh yeah,
You ever had that happen?
absolutely.
You ever gotten in any skirmishes?
Uh,
You ever had to throw a turntable or two?
Thankfully, no. But I definitely have had to stand my ground a few times and just, you know, remind people like what this situation is. And
What is that even like for someone to get that upset about your mix or not playing a song that you want to play? Like, how does a person get to that? Is alcohol involved with that when they get pissed off, or are they just that type of person?
alcohol definitely is a contributor to it, but it's just that's their ego. That's I need to hear what I need to hear regardless of anything else. And it's like in my mind, well, go put on some headphones and step off and go listen to it, or go listen to it in your car. Like if you need it that bad, to me, one song should never make or break your experience.
Yeah.
Ever. Unless it's like, you know, a song that like has some type of like your great grandma used to sing to you or something.
But even still, is it even that type of event?
Right, exactly. That's your thing.
So going back to what you said with the streaming thing, you think that contributed to that person's or those types of people having those types of reactions, not getting what they want right then and there, and they expect you to act like the algorithm?
Absolutely, they do. They really do. They want you to switch, because I've literally had people come request a song while I'm playing a song, and then that song hasn't finished yet, and then I'm like, hey, where's my song? I'm like, I haven't even changed the song.
It's been 30
yet.
seconds.
Yeah.
It's been 30 seconds.
Right, but they would have hit skip on their Spotify and just gotten to it. But
you know something, now I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking that streaming kind of ruined a lot more than just, you know, how artists get paid, people's attention spans. It might be part of the reason why the club experience hasn't, aside from the clubs, you know, they have their own issues, but the impatience of wanting to get into the next song because of the streaming might be a contributing factor to why a lot of people don't enjoy the club like that anymore. I'm just throwing darts out, you know. But maybe, I mean, you're a DJ. You let me know. I mean, you've had the altercations.
Yeah. No, absolutely. People's patience is thin, you know, and it's because they're just used to things. They're entitled now. They're used to things being on demand. So because of that, everything is just, it's personalized and has to be immediate. And if it's not, then it can be, you know, they take it personally. They take offense to it, you know. It's like, nah, it has nothing to do with you. It's also, you can tell when people request songs that don't fit the environment, you know. Like, we might be doing a cookout type function, and then someone's like, yeah, let me get that new shoot 'em up in the club song. Like, we're not playing that at the cookout because I don't want no one to be shot up at this cookout. Like, we're vibing.
Actually, you're probably a really good person to ask as far as being a DJ and a working DJ. This is your profession. So do you think that, like, the change in music has really, because music, like you said, it speaks to you. Music, it moves you in certain ways. Do you think music, the type of music that's being made, let's stick with hip hop. the type of hip hop that's being made right now, do you think it's like part of the reason you have a lot of emotional younger people, or I wouldn't say violent because we can go back to gangster rap and say it was like that back in '89, the 1992s and stuff like that. But do you think it has any real world effect on like how people are as emotional now, especially like the political environment? And this not this type of show. I'm not trying to be all controversial, but just from your DJing certain events, do you see like people with the type of requests that they ask? Um, do you have an idea of what the mind state is of like masses?
Yeah, you can definitely kind of tell how people are feeling, how the masses, how different groups are feeling.
Okay, talk about that. Can you give a comparison, like which groups?
Yeah, like the younger, like say high schoolers, you can tell like based off the music that they're listening to, kind of like how they're feeling, what they are expressing. I would teach and do after school DJ programs in high schools, so I would hear what they would want to play often, and a lot of times it was this rap that I didn't understand, this like mumble rap that was off cadence and didn't make any sense to me, but to them it was
The shit.
talking
Yeah.
about whatever struggle. It made them feel. Uh, it made them feel like they could express themselves, like they could relate to it somehow. So to me, I might not have liked it, but to them, it struck a chord. So I like can see how each generation has different music that strikes a chord to them. Now, as far as like how different groups are like what does that tell about each group? um you know uh it's you have to do a little bit more digging into what else is going on with those groups, but it does the messages in the music will oftentimes reveal like what people are feeling.
What they're going through and all of that.
Yeah, so they're like hip hop. The golden era of hip hop. It's a lot of that music was telling stories of struggle. You know what I'm saying? It was a good release for people because they could sing those songs word for word and feel all of those words like word for word. But and that's how like they could connect to the music. So I feel like listening to the messages from the songs and seeing who is connecting the most with those messages will tell you all you need to know pretty
As
much
far
about
as
those
how the
groups.
masses are feeling at that point in time. Yeah, because I know there's a lot of emotional stuff going on. So there's a lot of sad people.
Yeah, and
That's what it
like
seems like.
yeah, the pandemic was like a pretty sad, dark time. There's a lot of like
I think the media made it
sad.
that way. They really pumped up the fear. They had the numbers of people dying. It's like, come on, do you really got to show all of that? But I see what you're
Right.
saying. Yeah, so I get it.
Right. So I feel like a lot of the music that came out during that time, and even shortly after that time, were real like you said, kind of low vibrational, sort of sad emo type ish
Yeah.
music.
It seems like now, especially when it comes to hip hop, the mainstream is still like that, or it's not as technical anymore. Mainstream, there still exists. You just got to find it. And we bashing streaming for a little bit, but streaming kind of it exists. It allows you to find those people that are still producing the type of music that you would like. So it's so there, like you said, access.
Yeah.
There's some positive when it comes to streaming, but I'm sorry, what were you about to say?
I was gonna say I think like SoundCloud did streaming right. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they were the kind of earlier streamers that did it right. They allowed
Yeah, but it has
us to.
it has a bad when someone gets labeled a SoundCloud rapper, it's like a negative tone to it.
But think about like who are some of the artists that blew up from SoundCloud. The whole Soulection movement was birthed from SoundCloud.
That's true.
So like SoundCloud was a good space for discovery. I feel like these other platforms, the Spotify's and stuff, they're using these algorithms to push music on you that they think you'll like. And they also have curators behind the scenes that are purposely putting together playlists and these algorithms to push you towards certain types of music. So you might think you're really discovering stuff on your own, but a lot of times it's being fed to you.
Yeah.
SoundCloud, I feel like it was real true into like, I'm just on this other end of the internet, this little corner.
I definitely understand where you come from, because I have felt like that. Like, damn, I found some wild shit. Like Soul Election, it was one of those, like, you dig through the digital crates and just happen to find something you didn't know you had.
Right.
And yeah, you're right. The SoundCloud did feel like that. Every other streaming platform has their algorithms and stuff like that. So you're right. Yeah. I'll give you. I think just mainstream, especially labels, they don't like independent people who are actually becoming successful, and they found success and independence via SoundCloud. Found their audience, and they was able to bring their audience over to their shows and things like that. And the labels don't like that. So I get what you're saying.
Yeah, labels don't like anything that doesn't bring them money.
It's funny. It's part of the reason. It's part of my thought process of why Tory Lanez been going through all this stuff he was going through. I'm surprised that Russ, the rapper Russ. Yeah, so I'm surprised he hasn't gotten flack, because he made bread by himself too. But it was Tory that got a whole lot of the energy. I mean, given the circumstance, I guess the circumstances provided a golden opportunity for whomever to go ahead and throw the book at him, Whereas Russ, you don't really hear too much drama when it comes to him. I just hear, anytime I hear his name, it's always about the music. But when it came to Tory, it wasn't always the music. It was music, it was this, it was Megan, it was that, so I guess Tory kind of like walked in on some of it himself. But like, you're right though, the independent artist is got a target on their back right now.
They do.
Yeah.
And I think there's still space for the independent artist. I think there's more space now than ever, because there's more tools and more ways to get your music out there. But it's also still a big hedge. The music industry, like the labels, there's still the big hedge that you have to go up against.
Well, they got a lot of resources. I mean, they've been doing this since 1930. So how do you go? You can't just walk in and just push them to the side like that. It's just not gonna work. Not gonna happen. But they are people becoming successful without them.
Exactly.
So that has happened, and the internet is the great equalizer. Like you said, there's a lot more tools right now. So I definitely appreciate that. So we're coming to the point of the show where I do a bonus question. Okay. But I only can go to that bonus question if I beat you in a game of rock, paper, scissors.
Okay.
All right. So how do you do rock, paper, scissors? Because I keep getting this shit wrong. So it's rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or rock, paper, scissors, says shoot?
The first way.
Why did you make that face? Why'd you make that face? God damn, you never heard that? So I'm really it, because everyone I've done this with, they're all looking at me like, what the hell it says shoot? What are you talking about? Like, what is that? Like, I've always done it. Rock, paper, scissors says shoot.
I don't even want to know how you play spades, dog.
I don't even know how to play spades. Listen, I've been taught 5 times. And I'll play the game for that session, but this because I don't play it often. Like, I think the last time I played spades was maybe like 15 years ago. No bullshit. I don't play spades. I'll watch it. They'll teach me how to play it. I'll play that night, and then that's it. My brain just lets it go. Like, I have no idea how to play spades. All I know is getting books of some kind. That's all I know. That's all I know about it. I'll see people say, do this. Don't do it. Don't call this out. It's like you got partners and shit like that. Like, I don't know nothing about spades, man. I'll watch it. It's funny though, because people gonna be getting mad.
Make sure Black America don't see this part.
Hey, nah, I'm gonna show them, because I don't want no more smoke. Don't ask me to play no spades, because I don't know how to play it at all. No, leave me the hell alone. I'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? I'll watch people go crazy. Yeah, let me see you get your books. That's it. All right, so we'll do rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
All right, so, but if you win, you get to ask me a question.
Okay.
Do you kind of have a question? You want to take a moment to think of one?
I got a question.
You got a question?
Cool.
All right, cool. All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Hey. All right, cool. So, my bonus question for you is, you talked about a couple different things that you're into. DJing, you're helping people out, music production, and camera work. If you can go back, let's say you was going back to college. That's when you started DJing?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say you go back to college. Would you still choose DJing as your profession?
Absolutely. DJing has opened up so many different doors and opportunities for me. I've been able to go halfway around the world and back. I've been able to be in rooms with some of the wealthiest people in the world. I've been able to learn so much about different cultures and places and people. I've been able to connect the dots between, like, how do we get this type of music from here. So it's been such a great journey, and nothing I would trade for. I've been able to just like create so many memorable experiences for people that I still have people today, hit me up like 5 years later, we're still talking about the great time we had at this wedding or at this company party, or
Damn.
or like I have event planners hitting me up, like, yeah, we had such a great time with you. We can't wait to work with you again on this next event. And so, and then I've been able to pass along some of that information and knowledge to the next generation. And I have a couple of DJs that I've taught and taken under my wing that are doing so well. So that's always like,
Well, that's dope. So
yeah.
you're giving back to the community. Yeah. Have you damn, what was the question I'm about to ask you? She just left my brain. Yo, it was right there. I don't remember it. Damn it. I had something good too, man. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I don't know. Damn
all
it.
good.
That's
It's all
bad,
good.
man. It happens. Like, I had something right there while you were talking and it just went away. But I actually cut you off though.
Oh, no, you're good.
What were you saying? You were saying you was helping people out, getting.
Oh no, that's yeah, it's just been able to like I've DJ'd for the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I've DJ'd in rooms with like Jeff Bezos, and
Oh, did you meet him? You shake his hand?
I didn't.
And then did you hear him? Did you talk to him at all?
Nah, I just
Does he give?
did my job.
There's this crazy thing online. Does he give off Lex Luthor?
A little bit.
A little bit, for real?
Yeah.
Oh snap!
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos. I didn't say it. He did. No, I'm just playing. That's I don't know where that shit comes from, man. Like it's online. It's like, yeah, he's the new Lex Luthor. Like, okay, he just has a lot of money.
Yeah, he
like I mean, is everybody who have money is a bad person? I don't know. It's like, damn, you kind of make you wish you. I don't want to make a lot of money if that's what's gonna happen to me.
Nah, he didn't seem like evil, but he definitely had like kind of superhero villain.
Super villain type shit. Oh
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, but
Yeah, well, he's a billionaire. He can do a lot.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, but yeah, I've been able to perform all over the world. I'm doing a festival in Bosnia next week. I'll be in also Croatia, and then I'll be doing some stuff in the Caribbean in a couple weeks after that. So, just been like blessed. I feel like there's no other job. A lot of the times when I'm doing my job, I think about like everyone else that's working, and I'm like, I think I have the best job in the room almost every time.
It sounds like it. You get to travel all over the place, and it's not always on your own dime neither. So like you get paid to go places. So that's like kind of the ultimate thing. People being able to go wherever you want. I mean, you're going places because people are asking you to come. It's not always, oh, I want to go to Croatia, so I'm going to plan a trip. No, someone's paying you to be there, and you get to enjoy where you're at. That's dope too. So you've been full-time DJ. I mean, you can't be not full-time doing what you're doing, traveling all the time. How long have you been full-time DJ?
I've been full-time DJing for I think like 8-9 years, maybe 10 years, something like that.
Well, it's paying off. You got a smile on your face. So, and you said it's lucrative too. So, man, you able to do your thing, travel, be paid to do that, paid to play music, and I'm looking forward to your project when you decide to make it. Make it quick, man, because You never know.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And I look forward to the call too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I got something for you.
Oh
you know?
yeah, got some heat. Got some heat.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man, that's this coming to a close. I want to thank you for coming by and taking the time out, especially in your busy schedule. And y'all heard it. He has a busy schedule. You go into Croatia, you go into where was it, Bosnia?
Mm-hmm.
That's Eastern Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, I'm not the average American. I kind of know my geography a little bit. Eastern Europe, Bosnia. I get it. You know what I mean?
No, that's good because a lot of people would be like, "Where is that?
Like,
Bosnia? What part of? Is that near Australia? Where are you going?"
Yo, you know that's a bad rap that Americans get, man. It's terrible. I mean, it's bad. It's bad, man.
They know we don't know geography, and then we prove it to them that we don't know geography.
Yeah, you ever see the street interviews? And they be like, "Yo, so where is such?" Like, oh, like god damn. And you ask them about America sometimes, the U.S., and they don't be knowing. I'm like, yo, that's beyond bad. It's one thing if you don't know about a country that's that's like 20,000 miles away. Okay. But you don't know you don't know the state that's 600 miles away and it's still within your country. That's bad. That's bad. That's terrible.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of those.
our education is slipping and sliding.
Yeah, man, all the way. But anyway, again, man, I appreciate you coming by. Thank you. And is there anything you want to say to the people? There's your camera.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been a pleasure. I appreciate you giving me the platform to tell a little bit about my story and everything. Definitely follow me online at DJQ in the Mix. That's DJQ, the letter, and then IN the Mix. I also have those visual projects at Shots in 360, and I have a bunch of other things I'm working on. I have a tea and coffee company that I'm starting, or that I have started. So you can find all that stuff. It's all interconnected and on the webs. So hope to see you at an event sometime. Hope I can make you dance and catch a vibe. And anything that you want to do, whatever your passions are, definitely follow them, and never stop pushing towards them. So that's all I got.
I appreciate that inspiration. That's what everybody says. Never stop pushing, but you actually mean it. You didn't. You've been doing your thing for 10 years. So yeah. I appreciate that. I've been running into a lot of people that's been doing their art as their profession, and it's like, I'm asking the question, when am I gonna? At this point, I have to ask, when am I gonna have the courage to do it? Because I have the talent. I just not being cocky. I have the talent. I know I can do a lot of stuff. It's just the courage to do it, and I truly believe I'm finally getting to that point. Even though you've seen me rock out before, I think I needed the opportunity to just smack me in the head at that point to really go for it. Like Dre came and called me. I was like, "Yo, I got something for you." Now I know it's gonna happen, but I think I'm finally at a point where it has to happen. Otherwise, I'm gonna be an old man on my deathbed filled with regret, and I don't want that.
I hear you. Yeah. No, one of my favorite quotes from DJ Jazzy Jeff is, "Don't die with any art inside of you." So,
that's deep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, say that again. Say that again.
Don't die with any art inside of you.
And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's a good ending.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate you coming out, DJ Q. Thanks, man.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you having me. Peace.
Yeah.